charge. For advice and the knowledge and the cost of your college, no charge. For the toys, food, and clothes, and
listening to Radio Omega. Broadcasting live. Welcome, Radio Omega.
You're tuned into Omega Radio, the station of the star, where Jesus Christ is the star. It's now 11:02 a.m. Coming your way, it's our proud sponsor, Let's Talk Realty with Dr. Mark Hardy, Aaron Lee, and Tanya Palmer. Keep it locked in right here on Omega Radio.
Buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Florida? Join Bishop Mark Hardy of Coldwell Banker, along with Tanya Palmer Lodge and Aaron Lee of Century Point Lending Solutions right here on Omega Radio every Monday at 11 a.m. for Let's Talk Real Estate, as they share with you everything you need to know to be successful in the real estate market. You can't afford. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate with Bishop Mark Hardy of Coldwell Banker, along with Tanya Palmer Lodge and Aaron Lee of Century Point Lending Solutions.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Real Estate with yours truly, Tanya Palmer. Mark is out.
Yeah.
Mark is still out, but Mark is under the weather. He's actually under the weather, so we are going to pray that Mark gets well soon. And Mr. Aaron Lee, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone out there listening. It's another beautiful week, another interesting week, another week to talk about things that's happening in the real estate market. And particularly this morning, we're going to focus on the mortgage aspect of things.
All right. Yeah. So let's get into it. You know, we only have like 15 minutes and that time always seems to go pretty fast. So
Yes.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot. Well, you know what? We get a lot of questions, you know, Monday to Sunday. We get so many questions about our industry, what's happening. But the biggest question I know we get asked is the interest rates. When are those going to change? When are those going to drop? Is this a good time to buy? So let me start. Let me ask. It's like, what are we doing? What's going to happen with these interest rates?
Well, you know, I spend a lot of time kind of tracking that type of stuff, and particularly because of how it affects our clients, affects the clients that we currently have pre-approved and out there shopping for properties. Right now, the market is actually kind of flat when it comes to interest rates. I mean, since maybe the second to third week in January, we've been pretty stable. Going to throw out some numbers. By no means are these factual for any one particular person. It's just a range. But your FHA rates, you know, you're varying anyway from the high 4% to the mid to high 5s, and your conventional loans, you're varying anywhere from your low 5% to your mid 6 to even your lower 7s, just depending on credit score and the situation, type of property, and so on. So, but overall, as far as the trend or the state of the market, those rates have kind of remained very, very stable since about, like I said, the third week or so, fourth week of January. So, and all indications right now and all predictions are indicating that those rates are going to pretty much stay about the same way throughout the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. I mean, when we get that question, it's always also back to it. Is it a good time to buy? And the response that I love to ask or give is, it's always a good time to buy once you're pre-qualified.
Yeah, once you're ready. See, you know, we come from that Jamaican descent, and my grandmother used to always say, you know, everybody pot don't cook one time. So my time of being ready and your time of being ready is always going to come back to your particular financial situation at that moment. You might be ready now in this market. And I will always encourage you to move forward. However, someone else may not be ready. Maybe a credit issue, maybe an income issue, maybe not having enough funds to cover the down payment and closing costs. But that should not deter you from finding out where you are. Before you can win the race, you have to start, right? And the starting point is getting that pre-approval, figuring out what your particular set of finances and circumstances are going to be, what you need to do, or what your qualification requirements are going to be to get that approval to go ahead and finance and purchase that house.
And you said it. It's getting pre-approved. It's getting yourselves ready. So and the best thing is you sitting with us, myself or Aaron, right? We're doing this either in person or via Zoom, because that's kind of the way things have been going since COVID.
Yes.
But yeah, we have that option for you too. It's meeting with you in person or via Zoom, but it's actually letting you see where you are,
Right.
where you look. You know, we mentioned your adult credit report. Your credit report, that's what we're looking at. Your adult report card is your credit report. So we want to make sure that you are staying focused. You're on track. So yes, you may be a little concerned about the rate, but I also want to point this out, and this is important because people don't tend to know this or see it this way. The interest rates that you're seeing now are the interest rates where we have always been pre-COVID.
Yes.
COVID happened, and then what happened? The rates had to drop. It allowed people to stay in their homes. They needed us to stay home, so they dropped the interest rates. By allowing people to stay in their homes, what were people doing? Fixing up their homes.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? So now we're back to where the rates were pre-COVID. But because we were in those lower rates, everybody feels like that's where the rates need to be.
Yeah.
They're gonna. We can't predict they're gonna go back to your 2s and your 3s. I don't see it happening. But again, where you are, and sometimes when you look at the numbers, I know we look at them every day, but sometimes when you compare, when people say, well, I want a 3% versus a 4%, the difference in your payment is
not significant.
It's not significant.
It's not
it
significant.
really isn't. And that is why it's so important for you to sit with us. We're going to go through the numbers with you. We're going to show you everything as it is. And it's going to put you on that path. Why? Because when you're on that path and you're ready, then you need Mark.
Yeah.
That's where Mark going to come in.
And funny you mentioned Mark, because this question is a two-part question, right? On our side, we tend to focus more so on the interest rates and the overall amount that a person can be pre-approved for, right? But the second part of it is also now the home price.
Yeah.
And the price of the home, believe it or not, has more impact on what you're going to pay more so than the interest rate. And again, another part of one of the things we do every week is kind of keep a pulse on what's happening with the rates as well as prices of the homes and so on, what's happening, where the trends are showing us. Home prices are also trending and predicting to remain pretty much flat throughout this year.
Yeah.
So for those of us out there that are sitting on the sidelines waiting for this, I'm using the air quotations right now, waiting for this so-called collapse or waiting for this so-called bubble to burst. Please bear in mind that what we have going on right now is not a similar situation. It's completely different than what occurred in 2008, 2009. And sitting on the sideline and waiting, all you're doing is guaranteeing yourselves that you're going to pay more for that same home a year from now, 2 years from now. Because one thing that has not stopped is property is appreciating in value, property is appreciating in price. So
and population growing
as well. That was a big influence for why the South Florida market and why the South Florida market is going to continue to be probably on the upper edge of values and prices, because everybody wants to retire in South Florida. Everybody wants to come live on the beach. Everybody wants to enjoy the Magic City. So that natural draw, that natural allure that brings people here hasn't gone away. It's only getting better, and it's only attracting more and more people. Don't quote the exact number, but I believe I was looking at a stat the other day, and during 2022, you had 300,000+ additional people move to South Florida over what the normal trend is. So that just tells you that's the real indication, that's the real driver as to why the home prices will remain where they are and probably continue to increase, okay, is because the demand for this area is so high that we're going to have that natural draw, which will ultimately result in those prices staying about where they are right now.
So what we're telling you is reach out to us, right?
Yes.
Reach out to us. Our phone number, the best contact for us is 954-890-4320. And you can also reach us on our social media at Century Point Lending Solutions. That's where you find us. We're there.
We're on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think we're even on TikTok now. I'm going to have some nice videos of Miss Tanya out there doing some fancy dances and some of these challenges here.
And of course, Mark Hardy for all your real estate. That's what's going to take you out and show you these properties after we pre-approve you. And Mark's number is 786-327-8844. Or you can receive him or find him at Mark Your Way Home.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, so we got a few minutes left.
Okay.
Final thoughts.
Well, let me mention this because I know that this came out. Another thing came out in the industry was these FHA, the mortgage insurance. That dropped,
absolutely.
right?
That's a big thing.
Mortgage insurance premium dropped. What does that mean for us? What does that mean for buyers? Because they don't know what that means.
It means more home. That's simply what that means. So whenever you have a mortgage and you're putting down less than 20%, you're going to have mortgage insurance. FHA refers to it as PMI, okay, primary mortgage insurance. Now, private mortgage insurance. Now, that rate was 0.85% of the loan amount on an annual basis. They have reduced that to 0.55% on an annual basis. What that means is several $100s in savings. Instead of applying those funds towards paying the insurance on that mortgage, you can now apply those funds towards purchasing more home. So someone who may have been qualified for a $300,000 house may now be able to purchase something at $320 or $330 because you now have less of an insurance premium to carry. This is great news. It's a good thing. Guys, give us a call. We'll talk more about it. If you've already been pre-approved, Century Point, although this goes into effect with FHA officially on March 20th, Century Point will be honoring the new rates effective today. So if you've already been pre-approved and you're still out there shopping, you're not on the contract yet, hey, give us a call. Let's review those numbers. We may be able to save you some money there.
Yeah. So that to me was a big, when did this come out? Last Friday? Thursday?
It was announced Friday.
Yeah. So we're very happy because definitely gives our buyers a lot more buying power. And it does make those numbers a whole lot different.
Yeah, can you imagine putting an extra $150 or $200 a month towards your principal rather than paying in insurance premiums?
So
it will make a difference in the long term.
It does.
Trust me.
It does. So we're excited about that, and it just means that you just need to call us so we can get you pre-approved. And the ones that are already pre-approved, we're already revisiting those numbers to get them more of a buying power.
Absolutely.
Actually, you said that. I just remember I have somebody I need to go look at their numbers again.
Yes.
But yes, that's it. That's us for today. Final thoughts. Well, actually, I like to leave with those, right? Since we're on the topic of market conditions and being ready to buy, I think I'm going to say this again. If you are ready to buy, do not let the rates scare you.
Yes.
Fear is your biggest stop. It is. Because, again, what you think the rate or how much the rate is going to affect you is not necessarily what that is until you actually sit with us and we're going to look at your numbers and we're going to give you the complete guide.
Yes.
And that's all it takes. It's really for us knowing where you are. It's you knowing where you are. Because you can sit there and then get it. You're afraid. You look at us as the bank and you know that fear is there. But we are your guide. We are the ones that are going to make sure that you are comfortable with where you are and where you need to be.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's most of the time it's just that fear factor. People think that when you reach out there and you're going to get that, everybody's afraid of that no, right? Well, one of our main things here, one of our mantras here is that we do not believe in denials. You might be delayed, but you're never denied. Yeah. Now, if you're willing to take this step and this is something that you are committed to doing, we will definitely set you on we'll take a look at where you are today and we'll set you up on a plan to get you to that point where you will be able to be approved and purchase that home. We hold your hand throughout the process. It's follow-ups, whether weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever the time frame needs to be, whether it's credit. I mean, I've got a couple of people here on my phone right now that, hey, check in to remind them to put those from their paycheck on Friday to put some of that funds into their savings account. So we do it all. We kind of want to make sure that, we get you from not only just get you into the house, but we're a part of the journey too. As we understand how important home ownership is, it is that catalyst. There's a big theme out there right now for creating generational wealth, and there's no better way to do that than to invest in real estate.
And again, give us a call, 954-890-4320. Find us on our social media at Century Point Lending Solutions. This is Tanya.
And Aaron.
And Mark. Wishing you a great week.
Let's Talk Real Estate. Join us again next Monday at 11 a.m. for another informative program in the series Let's Talk Real Estate. Buying, selling, or investing